Well, good evening and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. We're broadcasting live and then on demand on Roku, Apple Television, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, and of course, YouTube and Facebook. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, May 17th, 2023. I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and this is the first LGBTQ plus talk show of its kind in the world. We're going to laugh and play through our LGBTQ plus world next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
You have the most stacked roster of any person that has ever come on Call Her Daddy, Gwen.
Don't leave!
Oh my gosh, Lady Buddy, you look gorgeous, my friends.
Are you?
It's a liberal beer, so drink it if you're cis or if you're queer, baby. Bud Light is shitty and...
It didn't, it was pretty much the number one.
It's all happening out tonight. With your hosts, gay guru Al Ferguson, lesbian activist FayWhat, pansexual leather daddy Elimination, drag queen and comedian Auntie Maine, Latino muscle bear Jonathan Casañas, Gen Z political advocate Maxx Fenning, Gen Z bear and actor Cameron Glass, leadership coach and leather sir Mark Pettit, Indo-Caribbean artist TriniDaddy, Muslim American communications exec Cal Gajraj. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, as you can see, this season 4 cast is the most diverse in our history, and thank you for joining us. And we've got a special host with us tonight. We love having Greg Shapiro with us tonight. Greg, great to...
I'm not going to co-sign
it's happy Lemonade Day, everyone. I'm very happy to celebrate that. So
It's not lemonade.
It's May 17th, Happy Lemonade Day. No, everybody knows this is John Hayden, the editor, extraordinaire, whatever his title is. At South Florida Gay News, chief muckraker in chief, whatever. John,
Chief
thank
ball
you.
breaker, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Thank you for being with us.
absolutely.
All
Thanks,
right.
Al.
As all of you know, Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the exact same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ community. We're showing you the new imaging of that. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbian, queer women, having things thrown at me, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS, healthcare, business, political advocacy, and faith. Help us support our community. All right. First up, it's going to be one of those shows. Off to the races. TikTok has become the top source of viral content on the internet. And you can find everything from recipes, hot guys, and vacation clips. And nothing says vacation like a cruise on Virgin Voyages. We want to tell you that Virgin has been an iconic supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, and now Virgin Voyages brings that to an entire new level as your #1 choice of an LGBTQ plus vacation experience. Value at Virgin is the word, and value includes being an adult-only cruise, Wi-Fi, all food from 20-plus eateries, tips, group workouts, and even essential drinks, all included. And that is value. And their values are also self-evident. Virgin Voyages fights for equality and the right to be seen, heard, and included. And that is why Virgin Voyages is part of our best thing of the week. So each week we will show our favorite TikTok video. Our TikTok of the week is "It's Hard Being an Adult" by Denzel Crispy.
You did it, you did it, you did it. Hey, bitch, you did it, you did it. Bow, 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 bow. When your rent, car, no bills, and your child support paid, bitch, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it. And that EBT just hit, bitch, you buy out to eat today, cause bitch, you did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. You even got extra money in that account saved, cause bitch, you did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. Ooh, ooh, hooray. Bitch, you did it. That shit. Do it again.
We all don't look.
You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it.
What do we think about Denzel Crisper?
Oh my gosh. I just want to know, was he looking at my life?
This Denzel Crispy. Like chicken.
I'll let you finish.
All right, I just did. Okay.
I'm like, has he been watching?
Crispy.
Oh my God.
Again, we're starting early with that white guy discounting my voice.
Are we to the drinking part yet?
No.
Has he been watching my life? Because the struggle is real. Like, am I the only one who's hating to adult these days?
Child, he's got so much more rhythm than you do.
I don't agree with that. But you know what? We need to celebrate the little achievements. That's what I got from this TikTok. You know, like when I was still drinking, my license did not match my registration, which didn't match my freaking tags on my car. Now all that shit matches. It's a beautiful thing to stop drinking.
But you know what? I hide out all the time. So sometimes the rent might not, was it the carpet don't match the drapes, the legislation don't match the license.
But that's me every night. Like at first I was like, oh, stupid thing. But then I realized I refer to myself in the third person every day. And I'm like at 3, 4 in the morning.
Why?
Because I'm like, I think we should all be our own best friends. I have always said I am my own best friend. I am like, TriniDaddy, you got this. TriniDaddy, you got to do this work today. For the next 30 minutes, you got to do this, and then you're good, and then you can watch TV, TriniDaddy.
And that's why you don't have friends, Poppy, because you talk to yourself.
A lot of friends. It's a sign of intelligence.
And right now, like, I'm totally getting, like, you're totally dressed like one of my ex-girlfriends right now with the World's Waldo shirt and the hair all like that, and the jean jacket from the 90s.
Well, I hope she did you right.
Oh, all right.
You
know, move on.
Yes, please.
Before we leave the dock with TikTok, let's think about our best place to make your next video, a Virgin Voyages cruise.
Now we're voyaging. Come on, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Loving will be easy because of like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
I love that message. Thank you, Virgin Voyages. Okay, I'm sitting with these people, so I need a drink. Anybody with me?
Yes.
You did it. You did it. The reason.
All right, let's play our yes or no game. It's called I'd Swallow That. We have played this game since season 1, episode 1. We invite you at home to play right along with us as I make 6 statements to our host. If they agree with the statement, they're going to take the shot in front of them. If they disagree, it's going to be a very long night. It's my teleprompter says for everybody, but I only care about me. It's going to be a long night for me. So, everybody ready?
Ready.
Play I'd Swallow That. And by the way, I'd Swallow That is sponsored by the LGBTQ plus community's favorite spirit brand. Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand and a special sponsor of our nonprofit 501c3 efforts to educate, inform, and empower the LGBTQ plus community. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ plus community is. Our neighbors right here in South Florida, they are the world's largest privately held spirits company. Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ plus community with sponsorships, pride embracements, and deep and passionate support of our LGBTQ plus charities and causes. And that's why tonight It's Happening Out plays I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. All right, here we go. Following the massive success of its Beverly Hills and New York City pop-ups, now it's San Francisco's turn to enjoy the ultimate, the Golden Girls. It's a themed dining experience at the Golden Girls Kitchen. This fully immersive pop-up restaurant transports guests into the world of the endearing fan favorite. The restaurant lets fans play in the world of Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia. Cozy up to the kitchen table to everyone's favorite banana leaf print and a good piece of cheesecake. Fans can also expect a recurring drag brunch featuring top local performers starting May 21st in San Francisco. There will be also trivia nights and dinner with the Golden Gays on May 27th. And then there's National Golden Girls Day on July 30th. And by the way, and this is the breaking news, additional Golden Girls Kitchen locations will continue to move on, opening in Chicago later this month. And guess what? Here in South Florida later this year.
Woo. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party.
All right, so question number 1. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Thank you for being a friend, as Golden Girls is coming to Miami.
Woo! Woohoo!
Thrilled about that?
Super thrilled. And I'm even more thrilled that you homos have to drive down to Miami.
I was getting ready to say, I will come to Miami for this. I don't come down for...
Your ass is going to come to my house.
Anything,
Like, hey,
yeah.
can I park my car in front of your house? Can you drive me there?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
I know. Wait. Faye and I went to the Save Gala this week, and I was coming to her house along with Cal, host at It's Happening Out, and my GPS in my phone, directions to her house in Miami, and my phone basically at one point after over an hour said, I don't know where the fuck this place is. Stop going there.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. I drove to Save out to Miami Beach without Faye because I could not find her house.
Well,
That's Miami.
We need to upgrade your phone because that briefcase that you got.
Brand new.
But I like
Golden Girls.
I like this idea because, it takes us back to a time when things were good. Like, when that nostalgia moment of just feeling good. So the moment you walk in, I can almost feel like just taking myself back to the 80s of good TV, of wholesome laughs, of fun, and to see our siblings dressed as the characters. And can you imagine if they take on those personas, getting waited on by like a Rose or a Sophia, being insulted while she's saying what you want to eat, what kind of lasagna? I think it's amazing.
I'm curious, which character do you love the most? Do you embrace the most? Who are you?
I want to be Dorothy, but I'm Blanche.
You're Blanche. Wait, how come?
Because I'm a hoe.
All right. Who are you, John?
Sophia.
You're Sophia.
Yeah.
You're the old woman with the
old woman with the bags and acid tongue.
So clear. And Trini,
He's Rose, of course.
Right.
I told you that.
I
Right?
actually
say Rose.
I wasn't. I see myself more as like a Sophia Dorothy. It's just, I know you don't see it on the show, but it's my inner dialogue that I don't want to assault everybody who's viewing
Wait,
it with.
no.
Did TriniDaddy just tell us he's great at It's Happening Out in his head?
He did. And the conversation.
Sometimes when I drink,
better.
it comes out a little bit.
Thanks for bringing it. Thanks. And Elimination, who are you? Which
Blanche
character?
all day.
You're Blanche.
B-E-D.
Okay, so
B-E-D. All
right,
day.
you're so Blanche,
All day.
Blanche on both sides of me. Okay. All right.
And real quick, Trini, thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, very nice. And I really wish you were doing the show in your head. And who am I? Which of the four?
Sophia, of course.
That's
All day.
All day.
All
You're
day.
Sophia. We're giving you
all
that.
day.
Sorry.
I think you're Dorothy's ex-husband.
Stan.
Yes.
I
would have changed
I
my
was
vote.
going for
At the end of the day, we can mess with Al all day.
Yes.
But the fact is that he's got 2 husbands, 3 boyfriends, and 4 guys that he sends money to in Cuba.
Yeah.
So he's
And he's
a
the
black,
boy.
right?
And
So
the
he's
boy.
black,
Right.
bro.
That's
Okay,
true.
it is what it is.
with
Blanche's brother.
with a big dose of Dorothy. And she's of the four. She's the one.
Oh, your dry humor stand says it all.
Right, exactly. All right. Shh, shut up. All right, next. Gwyneth Paltrow this week has divulged intimate details about her past relationships, dun, 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 with Brad Pitt and Ben Affleck. Now imagine talking about A or B, Ben Affleck or Brad Pitt. In an interview with Call Her Daddy podcast, host Alex Cooper asked the actress, entrepreneur, to take part in a game dubbed Brad or Ben. Now, you know that's not going to work out well. Alex questioned Gwyneth over which of the 2 heartthrobs was better in bed. Gosh, is this a gay boy question? To which she admitted that it was really hard Yeah, I think that choice. But Brad was a major chemistry, and Ben was technically excellent.
Okay, we're gonna play a game. Okay, Brad or Ben? It'll be fun. Okay.
Brad.
No. I didn't even ask a question. Who were you more likely to get into an argument with? Make you laugh. Who was more romantic? Better kisser. Who was better in bed?
Brad was like the sort of major chemistry love of your life, and then like Ben was like technically excellent.
Holy fuck! You also dated and married Chris Martin. Shout out Coldplay. Love ya.
Shout him out.
We are gonna do one last game.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill. Brad Pitt, Ben Affleck, and Chris Martin.
Oh, did we cut that wrong? By the way, that's Shag, Marry, Chop. Just quick FYI, in case you don't know, that was the game that we played in episode 1, season 1, exactly like she just called it. And the first game that we ever played the first time at It's Happening Out was with Donald Trump, Eric Trump, and Donald Jr.
Wow, whose idea was that?
And
oh my God.
I think it was my idea.
And the mayonnaise in the roast.
We didn't realize you can't discuss one of those words that she just said and the President of the United States, and the show got pulled down in the middle of the show.
Wow.
So then it became Shag, Marry, Chop. So when we get there, I'll remind you of that. All right.
So do you folks agree with Gwyneth? Is it Brad or Ben?
Well,
like, first of all, she loves...
Let's do the shot first.
Oh, okay, go. Sorry.
Question number 2. Have you done this game before?
Is that you talk a lot, Al? Let's go.
It's a big dick energy right there. She's like, put on the table. What you got?
What you got?
It's going to be a good night for
Blanche. All right. With a McCarty shot, I'd swallow that. I love Gwyneth Paltrow when she dishes on past lovers, Brad Pitt and Ben Affleck. Do we love that? Yeah. Now,
When I
John.
When I left my last job, I thought I was free and clear of having to care about anything from Gwyneth Paltrow, from her hoo-hoo eggs
shady.
To her vlog. I mean, and we all know it's gonna be Ben, because Brad
first.
You really think so?
He's a foot taller.
Oh.
No, because Brad can't be trusted.
Okay,
he married and then he goes on and goes off with Angelina Jolie. No, I'll take Batman any day.
There's pictures of both. It's definitely Ben.
Okay. Well, I would. I mean, if I had to choose, I'd say Brad myself. But understand that Gwyneth Paltrow has a certain taste. She loves alcoholics. Okay, and both these gentlemen are heavy drinkers. It's not news to anybody. It's been told in the tabloids over and over. And after drinking like that for a lot of years, that affects your pee-pee.
Really?
All the gay men at the table go.
We all stop breathing. We all stop breathing.
Everybody knows their people.
We all stop breathing. Absolutely. And mine was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Look, thanks, Bacardi, for sponsoring. So I agree, Batman all day. But Ben is doing something to keep that big booty J-Lo happy. It ain't his personality.
I've already given you the clue. There are pictures of both of them.
So you're saying that she's lying about it?
No. In the cat. Oh no. Her answer is very technical. He's technically really great. I'm passionate about Brad. That's why she said
that's a better compliment
without any questions. Brad. There was love, passion
that part,
there. Yeah. But Ben Affleck is Ben.
Laid the pipe.
Laid the pipe. Yes. I can lay with you all day and it'd be cute. But if you drill it, if you drilling for oil, right? If you drilling for oil, then you banging that box.
And if you don't believe me, it's easy to find the pictures.
You know what, Al, remember, we're talking about the guy who doesn't know about the second hole.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, therefore,
there we are.
Yeah. I don't know. I would definitely rather be Brad than Ben in that.
Why?
Because I think that's a way better compliment to Brad than Ben. It's like, yeah, Ben, I could take him or leave him. Yeah, he's kind of got things.
She didn't say that.
I know, but that's what I am reading into it, and that Brad knows how to use it.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yes, I've seen them both.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. All right, but you're wrong. Technically, let's move on. Emojis don't have sexualities, so any of them could be the queerest. But we're going to rank the ones we find the most notoriously queer. Celebrating the gay emoji guest matters because it is a thriving form of language that no one expected. No longer chained to the delicacies of words, a tool for communication that liberates itself from nuance and decorum. That sounds like gay rights to us. Here are some of the gay emojis we absolutely love to use. Let's look at them. Eggplant plus sweet droplets plus peach.
All day.
All day, right. The rainbow flag, a smiling face with horns, a pregnant person or man, women face palming, upside down face, face with rolling eyes, bear face emoji, and drooling face in honor of John Hayden. All right, so what's your pick? Did we miss anything that is a favorite of yours? Question 3. With a Bacardi shot, have you played this game? With a Bacardi shot, right? He's playing it in his head. He's already done the answer. I'd swallow that. Absolutely, emojis are gay speak for everyone. Do we agree with that? Emojis are gay.
I can do that.
All right.
I agree. The smiley face with the side eye is like, I translate that to whatever, bitch. Right? Because Athena Dion texts me that all the time. Like, whatever, bitch. Right? And then lesbians, we use the papaya, we use the melons, we use the kiwis, and the cherries. Yummy, yummy.
You know, all day. The moment you want to say something without saying something, an eggplant, 3 eggplants, come over, cleaned out, let's go. that is my way.
Clean out,
or if you receive the peach, that somebody wants you to come over.
I just had that experience, and I wish I would have said that.
Oh. What does the upside down happy face mean?
You'll have to put that emoji in front of us.
Yeah, what does that mean?
And
what's gay?
Well, so like when you're having sex but in pile driver, so your head's upside
production
down.
tells us that emoji means faking it.
Oh, I like mine
really?
better.
Yeah, which is it's something that John Hayden has perfected.
Oh,
he's about to give you the blow by blow, literally.
All right, emojis, they're very gay, and if production can help me with the clock. All right, next, gays fall in love too, and Hallmark has embraced that fact with the 2022 Christmas movie, The Holiday Sitter. But big news this week. Apparently, once you go gay, you don't go back. That's a joke for you, by the way. Hallmark is coming out with a new series named Ride. It's featuring an out gay actor, Jake Foy. He is ticking all the boxes for Hallmark, and he's becoming a heartthrob in the process. Foy is playing Tough McMurray. Now, that's the name, Tough McMurray, a strapping young man in the upcoming drama series. The Hallmark Channel launched 30 years ago. There is no denying that its roots are firmly planted in faith-based soil. 4 years ago, however, they initially stopped airing ads for Zola.com, an online wedding registry, because it featured a same-sex wedding. Do you remember that? But they reinstated the ad and then shifted their standards and practices to work with the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, better known as GLAAD, to include more LGBTQ plus storytelling. Knowing that Hallmark has only recently adjusted its programming to be more inclusive, this new series and Foy's role hold great significance. Question 4, with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Wait, it's not Christmas, and there's a Hallmark gay series? Are you shocked?
I'm a little shocked, but I'm totally here for it.
But you're shocked.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've been producing some, gayer friendly things. Let's face it, their Christmas movies are generally about as white as the snow in northern Canada.
Yep.
As out.
White as
Yep.
But they've been getting a lot better. And remember, Candace Cameron Bure.
Oh God.
Left the net. She was like a featured player. She was like the star. She was everything in everyone and everything. She left the network to go someplace even more conservative.
Yeah.
So if
because of the new
of the new programming. So I just like to picture her crying somewhere
With Kirk
as
Cameron,
this
with
as
Kirk
this
Cameron
comes,
somewhere.
with Kirk sitting next to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. Hallmark, snoozer. You can put the whole entire cast of the L Word with Jennifer Beals 3 times, and I still won't freaking watch it. All right? Sorry. The second I see Hallmark, I'm like, oh, if it's not for cards, I'm not interested, baby. I'm sorry.
And don't. I'm sorry, but don't think about this. Hallmark starts playing Christmas movies in like
June,
right? So they gotta fill it. They gotta fill it. They gotta fill it with something. So they might as well use it with the same old boring. So they got tired of the same mayonnaise out-ish characters, and they said, well, let's add a cowboy.
Tough cowboy.
So when they give us some more diversity, then maybe we can watch it.
Can I
But until
disagree
then,
with all of you a moment?
You always disagree with all
Before the white man gives his opinion,
I'm sorry, Cameron. I'm sorry.
I just look at this guy and I don't want to watch this movie. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad-looking guy.
Can we put him in full screen?
But yeah. So I feel kind of like how Elimination does. There's something about him that just screams to me, like, I don't know if he's non-white, but he looks white to me. And the way that he looks and the whole, like, tired Brokeback Mountain 2 is like,
he's not Pedro Pascal, okay? He's not. And he will never be.
I am not going to like this movie and who they market to. I'm sure it's the people that watch the Hallmark stuff, but I can't.
At all. So clearly there's different demographics for market.
Old people will love this. Enjoy
so tell
Al.
me why you are excited about this.
Wow. But Faye apparently just told you why. The one bit of disagreement that I have about the holiday movies, I don't know this last Christmas if you watched a lot of movies, a lot of the holiday movies, but on Netflix, I'm not saying Hallmark, although I'm sure Hallmark is the same. Netflix had a whole programming channel at Netflix of Christmas holiday movies, mostly romantic comedies. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a snore fest. And I watched one and it was like, wait, this wasn't bad. And then I watched a second. And by the time I was finished and the person I was watching it with, I had consumed like 16 or 17 of these movies. Once you go down that rabbit hole, they've got you. So I very much suspect Hallmark knows what they're doing.
16 or 17 movies.
I know,
Al,
right?
Bitch, I gotta give sex to my wife. I gotta find time for that 16 or 17 movies.
But you assumed that wasn't going on.
Let's move on.
All right.
Because that image, I threw up the Bacardi in my mouth.
Just like LGBTQ plus. I get so much shade at this show. My God. Just like on LGBTQ on Wilson Drive, we are taking a lot of shots. Let's take a momentary break and hear from our sponsor, Bacardi Rum. All right, this is my favorite story of the week. As we continue, I'd swallow that. The forever LGBTQ plus ally, Martha Stewart. You already know what I'm going to tell you. Martha Stewart has become Sports Illustrated's oldest cover model ever. It is no secret that gay men love Martha Stewart. And why not? Her deep-rooted connection to the LGBTQ plus community goes beyond special appearances on Ugly Betty and Ellen. Martha Stewart's Weddings magazine famously introduced a same-sex cover couple to the magazine in 2009, long before it was fashionable, with Jeremy Hooper and Andrew Schulman sharing their vows. Martha and Snoop, how can the dynamic duos potluck dinner party featured guests ranging from LGBTQ plus icons like Patti LaBelle and our community comedian of choice, Kathy Griffin, to gay television personalities like Ross Matthews and Laverne Cox. It is certainly refreshing to see her posing for the magazine's annual swimsuit edition at 81 years old. And this week, listening carefully, Martha Stewart was the number one mention on social media in the entire English-speaking world. Drop mic. Question 5, with a Bacardi shot. I'd swallow that. LGBTQ plus cheers Martha Stewart's SI swimsuit cover as she shows love to the older queer community. What do we think about Martha Stewart?
Get it, girl. Get it, girl.
Half. Why half?
All right. I think Martha Stewart's great. I just don't like, I wish it would have been on Vogue or some other magazine other than Sports Illustrated. And also, I hate this picture because if you saw the video of her doing the photo shoot, she's in beautiful colors, actually showing her body. I feel like this makes it look like they're trying to hide her body instead of being in a swimsuit.
You haven't seen all of the pictures yet?
I saw.
Well, there's many pictures.
But for like the cover.
He's saying that for the cover.
That they wanted to cover her up for it. Yeah. So I'm like, I love that she's older. I love that all of this stuff. I don't know if I feel like, maybe I'm not the biggest inclusion.
You always disagree with him.
I want to disagree.
But the issue is like the inclusion part of like taking it a little bit.
Here's why I want to disagree with you.
Go ahead.
You make the observation that you like it, but you wish it was Vogue. The reason this is so significant
because it's not Vogue.
It's not Vogue.
That part.
This is not a fashion shoot. This is a highly to the 18 to 36-year-old demographic to buy Sports Illustrated that don't normally buy Sports Illustrated because they can use it as a sexual aid of the beauty of the cover of the magazine and in the pages. And what they've done in Sports Illustrated is say, this is beautiful. If they would have done this on Vogue, we would have loved her on Vogue.
Yeah, of course.
But it would have been completely different.
Look, a couple of things. First of all, when I first saw the first picture, I thought it was an AI, right? Because it looks so good, right? And I'm so sorry that I felt that way, okay? Second of all, her boobs look amazing, and that's no bra, okay? That bathing suit has no liftage or padding or any kind of help for the girls, okay? And she's 81 years old wearing that, all right? I saw a recent interview with Jane Fonda. I forgot on what show she was on. And she was saying that this is the era for older people, that now she is more in demand than she ever was in life.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Jane Fonda.
And so, you jump in. Go ahead.
You sure? I mean, this is our...
Yeah, you're right. Okay. You're right.
But...
Wait.
Take it out.
Oh, wow. We have to remember.
He's serious. Oh, my gosh.
Serious. One of the things we have to remember, do you remember her being in prison in West Virginia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
She has totally rehabilitated. She probably didn't even need to do that. But this is the person who's in prison in West Virginia, and look at her today.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I agree with Trini. The prison helped her. She got street cred. She's not having potluck celebrity dinner parties with Snoop Dogg if she hasn't gone to prison.
Right?
And honestly,
she can pull out her shank and go, don't you? As
you know, I've talked with a lot of celebrities. She is really one of my favorites. She is one of my favorites. She's very down to earth, but she gets the joke. She's got this wry sense of humor, and she will say something shady. And she'll know it's shady, but she won't acknowledge it except for like a wry little...
I agree. You know what's great about this moment?
That y'all keep ignoring me?
Watch John's face very closely. Production, zero in on John's face. I love it that he's talking about Martha Stewart and he hasn't interviewed her. Now, Elimination, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I have.
He has.
So again, I got 2 L's. So just like you should wonder about 2 Blanches, I got 2 L's. But I'm going to push back on Trini as well. Sometimes you need a teaser.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of time. Yeah, let's move on. The iconic Lady Bunny is one of the first drag queens to reach
grab the mic because I'm going to shank him.
Popularity.
He deserves it.
She's created her own lane in I'm sorry, Elimination. I'll come back to you later.
He's talking about his friend. Let him talk about his friend.
I'll talk about your friend.
Right,
go ahead.
Come back next time.
No, go ahead. All right.
The moment's over, Al.
Yeah, you already.
All right, let's move on.
You're showing your whiteness, your eliteness. It's okay.
The iconic Lady Bunny is one of the first drag queens to reach mainstream popularity. She's created her own lane in entertainment through the years. And believe me, with Bunny, that's a lot of years. With plenty of movies, live shows, stand-up sets, and more. Now the hilarious queen is bringing her signature and raunchy comedy to New York City's The Green Room 42 in her new show, Don't Bring the Kids, with multiple states across the country introducing anti-drag legislation. Lady Bunny's show boldly tackles the political climate. However, the Queen isn't only challenging Republicans in the show, but also the LGBTQ plus community by asking, quote, "Let me just ask you, is Anitra from Drag Race performing a song that says her pussy is burning, something that kids should see," end quote. Question 6, with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Only Lady Bunny could have a new show called Don't Bring the Kids. Don't bring the kids.
Well, not only her, but...
All right.
But only her.
Yeah. You're not drinking? Oh, you are?
She's a classic.
A classic what?
Classic.
I think Lady Bunny is hilarious.
Okay, I'm like,
out of respect, let's go to elimination.
So I'm again the Al and the Al. I do know who Lady Bunny is. That's Al's best friend. they grew up together.
Okay.
They did all their shows together.
They
Did you not?
together.
They did, right?
Shit, yeah.
So again, I
I'm
only
going to
drank.
give you a Lady Bunny story in a minute, and you're going to eat
Of
your
course
words.
you are.
Yeah, of course I am.
You probably rode around with her on a cruise that Al and Chuck did. But anyway, maybe moving on. So I drank because I think it's time that we kind of push back. Don't bring your kids to the drag show because that's not what it's there. It's there to entertain adults. And I think it also pushes back on the crazy folks because if parents can pick books that they want their children to read, they should have the same freedom to bring their children to wherever they choose to go, wherever. And so how are you going to solicit books? And you're not going to solicit books, so you're going to give you freedom of choice, but then fight our entertainers and make it a big deal. The contradiction. So I like what she's doing now is holding it to the mirror and be like, where's the problem that you see this? Beyonce can sing about her stuff. We can have at 9 o'clock in the morning all kinds of sex songs that our little children can sing, but unfortunately our siblings cannot perform drag.
Okay. All right. So you got your words in. Congratulations.
I mean, it's finally, but I know it was too heavy for you.
Other thoughts about Bunny?
So she likes smut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's very smutty and slutty. Right. And so, she's still allowed to do that, so give her props for that. I mean, do you think that the shows will sell out, Al?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I want to make a comment. Bunny has been on the cruise, on the RuPaul events. She did one of the shows on Royal Caribbean, and we had her in the Ice Palace, the Ice Theater on the big class ships at Royal Caribbean. And she did a show where she literally had 100 dildos in the show. And she did jokes about the dildos, she threw the dildos, everything in the show was about the dildos. Now, one of the things that's interesting, and I'm making an age reference in terms of reference. If you know Milton Berle from the 1950s and 60s, that is Lady Bunny. If you know Henny Youngman and his one-sentence jokes, that is Lady Bunny. If you know Rodney Dangerfield from the 70s and 80s for the drag community and LGBT humor, that is Lady Bunny. She is an icon in her lane. Is she Bianca Del Rio? Well, Bianca Del Rio is a newer version of Lady Bunny. But if you have an opportunity to go and see her, you should. Because when you watch Lady Bunny, you're watching history.
And I've sat in her audience, and I agree with you. She's telling it like it is, and come to my show. Don't get me shut down. Realize what I'm bringing you, and be entertained.
Exactly.
I do battle with her on her Instagram quite a bit.
Do you?
Yes.
Wait, what?
We go back and forth on politics.
Wait, here's an interesting thing about Trini's observation. Bunny, and then we're coming back to you.
You sure?
Bunny is uber political. She's uber political. She goes at it fiercely. Now,
So I think her politics are shit. And I think her understanding of the politicians and their lives is not great. And so she draws these ridiculous conclusions at times. But she's passionate about it. And I watched the whole interview about this new cabaret show, whatever it is that she's doing, drag show that she's doing.
Right.
And
the one that we just talked about.
The
one that we're talking about right now.
The whole thing. And like everything that she talks about, the gay community, all her criticisms of it and all her criticisms of the straight community, I completely agree with. And I think she's fiercely entertaining and comically like genius in what she does.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So bring her on this show because I'd love to do it.
Yeah, we love Bunny, and she will love you because so few people say she's a genius. I love it. All right, Broadway, love you, Lady Bunny, and great that you're doing this new show. All right, Broadway actor PJ Adzema posted a video this week to Instagram of his hilarious send-up of the controversies rocking around Bud Light. Adzema, who's currently playing Elder McKinley in the Book of Mormon on Broadway, addressed the controversy by writing a comedy song about what was happening to Bud Light. Only in his Instagram account, he credits Emmy-nominated composer and lyricist Eli Brolin as a co-writer of the song he's titled Bud Light. Bud Light has faced calls for a boycott from homophobic right-wingers after the brand partnered with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. When Bud Light backed off slightly from that partnership, LGBTQ plus advocates criticized parent company Anheuser-Busch InBev and even suggested a boycott on both sides. And some gay bars stopped serving Bud Light, as well as other brands of alcohol owned by the company.
Bud Light, the liberal beer. So drink it if you're cis or if you're queer, baby. Bud Light, it's shitty and bland, but it's gonna be your favorite brand as you fight for trans rights with a can in your hand, baby. So drink it up like America guzzles the lies of the alt-right. Swallow it down like we swallow the terror that's keeping us up at night. Baby, Bud Light, so painfully gay. Now I'm gonna chug one for the LGBTQIA. Okay, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but Bud Light is gay.
Well, we call this the best thing of the week. The Book of Mormon star sings Bud Light gay beer parody. What do y'all think? This whole controversy.
That was so funny. That was so good. It's on point, and I would put his can in my hand any day of the
Find
week.
him good looking?
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a gay Jeff Foxworthy.
What? Okay, Jeff Foxworthy. Okay.
Doesn't he?
The country guy?
Yeah, he totally does.
I mean, not to
Thanks,
me,
Faye. Now you've ruined it.
Yeah,
for me.
no, I agree with you. There was nothing sexy about any of that.
All the gay guys at the table went.
Yeah, but I saw it with you. Yeah,
That's totally not my humor. I get why some people would be entertained by that, but that's usually the...
You know, a lot of people, Book of Mormon is not their humor.
Right. Well, I mean, Book of Mormon is my humor, but that's usually the part in the piano gay bar when I'm in New York where I'm like, next. But props to him for doing that.
The perfect parody is what he's doing. Like he's pointing out all the fallacies that they utilize to say why this is not, you can't drink Bud. And the Bud beer itself is nasty anyway. So
and Bud Light even worse.
Even worse. Like, I mean, all of that is horrible. So again,
Guinness,
Corona all the way.
all day.
Yes.
But again, you know that the perfect population that drinks the Bud.
Right.
So therefore, those people.
I wouldn't touch a Bud Light. I wouldn't touch Bud Light with your lips. Is anybody tired of protest as it relates to product? Protest them. Ban that product. Don't boycott that product.
It doesn't work.
Besides not working. But are we just sick of it? It's like, please just shut up. Drink the beer or don't drink the beer.
Yes.
But don't shoot the bear with a machine gun.
That part. Right. All of that. Yeah. No, I am.
I think it's such little dick energy to be so consumed by something that you just don't, a beer. Like, really, is your life that boring that you have all this time to do that? Like,
I mean, my life, yes.
If you're
You know why that's really funny? Because it's true. All right. Each week at Is Happening Out, we ask our hosts about what is important to them. But there's a twist. It must be in just 30 seconds, or you're going to hear that bell.
Like I did earlier?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's right. And maybe this segment too. This segment is called What's on Your Mind, and it's sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus pizza of choice for South Florida. What's on our mind is the deep dish Detroit-style pizza, or perhaps the cauliflower thin crust. Hello, welcome back, Faye.
Wow.
She had one job. She had one job.
One job, and she couldn't do it.
Sitting next to
This
Trini.
is why I can't have anything nice. All right, and it's
In her hand, she was showing it. And
our sponsor for 4 years. They captured our attention with our 4th season with their campaign called Bigger is Better. And we'd like to be showing you the pizza at this time, but we're done with that apparently. And of course, they're talking about their slices. What did you think I was talking about? Jet supports a huge variety of LGBTQ plus events and nonprofits. With more than 400 locations nationwide and 35 in Florida, they are considered one of the best franchise opportunities in America. And the South Florida LGBTQ plus community loves their pizza. And that is why Jet's Pizza is our sponsor of What's on My Mind. Faye, let's begin with you. What's on your mind?
Okay, so this is what's on my mind. Okay, body positivity and being insecure. All right, and those are things that I have to fight with, and others in our LGBTQ plus community have to fight with. So I went to the Save Gala on Saturday. Al was there, also Champions of Equality, and someone came up to me and said, "Oh my God, nice dress. It covers all the vacation weight, huh?"
What?
Yeah. Did you right?
I was mortified.
Right cross or left
Ow,
uppercut?
it came so unexpected. That like just doesn't. I was mortified. Okay.
Who are people to talk to you that way?
I don't belong to them, for someone to tell me that. But, at that moment, like I always try to fake the smile and I couldn't, right? I was freaking mortified.
You should have been.
Fast forward to Tuesday, right? This incredible body painter, Avi Ram, right? He's won all these kind of awards, taps me and says, "Hey, my model canceled for tomorrow. Can you please fill in?" Right? And he does this incredible work. It's called Hidden in Plain Sight, where he basically paints you into these historic locations in Fort Lauderdale, right? And it's commissioned by Visit Lauderdale. Thank you so much for everything that you do. And I almost said no, because I had to stand out there in a bra and underwear, open to everyone, right? I'm really self-conscious about my double mastectomy scars on me also. And something told me not to do it because of this comment that this fool told me at the Save Gala. It took everything to muster the energy and the perseverance to go, "Yes, Avi, I will be there." But I talked myself out of it at least 5 different times. And I'm so glad that something happened and I got to go and I got to have this experience that was phenomenal and beyond. And I was able to face those fears of, I'm going to be too fat, I'm going to be too big, and my scars are going to show, blah, blah, blah. So, you know who you are, who told me that on Saturday. You did not defeat me.
And your picture is amazing.
Wait,
the overall
that's what I was going to say. Let's pull the pictures into full screen and take a minute more to look at those.
Do the full one with me, like
just by yourself.
With me, right? There's another one.
Yeah, and they got it. They know there's other pictures. And that one doesn't really hide you in the way it was. One of the pictures that I don't know if there's any more there. See, the legs are beginning to disappear there. Yeah. Avi is really...
There's the whole one.
That is
wow.
There's the whole one. Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible.
I was going to make the joke, and it would be totally inappropriate, that Avi's paint really helps to cover the vacation pounds that you
I mean, he's hitting all the boxes. Insult the black guy, insult the woman, and just keep it going. What else you got?
Faye, I have to ask.
Are beautiful.
I know we're not supposed to ask questions during this segment, but Faye, I have to ask, which hospital did that person end up being treated at? Right. And can Al now get share a room with the guy?
I was going to say, I'd be scared to ask that. All right. Lovely pictures, and I love the message that you gave on positivity. John Hayden, what's on your mind this week?
Lots going on. Lots going on in our community. This Sunday, Mr. Ramrod is having James Churcha is having his send-off for IML, which is next week. You know a little bit about that. You've been there, so we wish him a lot of luck representing our community. Dolphin Dems have their gala. Where do we go from here? We pick everything up. It's time for our community to come together, and together we shall come. Are you going to ding me?
Absolutely. And thank you, John. And Elimination, what's on your mind this week?
Well, since he gave a great introduction, as a nice white guy would, what's on my mind is IML 45. I will be
45.
IML 45. I will be.
A lot of people don't know what IML is.
I don't know what that is.
I'm helping you. Wait, see?
Because you get out of your head and pay attention to the table.
IML.
Well, I was going to tell you, but then the white guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So IML is a celebration. It's been around for 45 years. In which
What does IML mean?
Can you give me a moment?
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Oh, no.
30 seconds.
He gave you that look. You better watch it.
Oh, no.
The bottom of Yo was about to come out like, yo, dude. All right, so International Mr. Leather.
International
Mr. Leather.
Gotcha.
There is, if you was on the show, I spoke about EMZO, the International Miss Leather that happened in April.
I wasn't there.
You were, but it's okay. You was in your head.
All right.
So we're going to talk about the male-identified version of this contest, in which you took 8 up like 30 minutes of my time.
All right.
Reclaiming your time. Go ahead.
Oh. All right.
So in all of these years, there's only been roughly 3,000 people, less than 3,000 people who have competed. I am one. I was happy to represent South Florida.
You were the winner, honey.
Thank you. I was top 10 out of 68. There's roughly 58 people that are competing this year. We do wish our champion, James, great luck, as well as many others. There's a lot of international players that are coming back this year because of COVID and things have kind of changed the content.
And help us understand, this year's
part?
Mr. Ram at 45 years of
It's been around.
IML. And Mr. Ramrod, this year going to Chicago IML, what's significant about Fort Lauderdale's representative this year?
So
Giving you the opportunity.
Okay, so we will support our brother. So James is openly trans male, the first of Mr. Ramrod ever to compete for the Florida state. As well as Mr. Ramrod. So as far as the bar, Mr. Ramrod itself, we do have 2 representatives. We have Daddy Gilbert, and then we have James as well that's going for Florida. I know I'm going to root for my...
Which of the 2 do you want to win?
If you let me finish, I am going to always root for Mr. Ramrod because that is where I live.
There you go.
That is what I represent.
And James is amazing.
And James is an awesome guy. He's a sweetheart. He's a great fundraiser. His event is going to be amazing on Sunday.
After the 4 minutes and 90 seconds that you've been going on, may we...
I'm reclaiming the daggone 30 minutes you stole from me.
And
white folks always feel native people's language to land.
Trini, what's on your mind?
So, just a little side note to Facey, when you talk to yourself and you have that inner voice, you don't have those insecurities. But I actually, maybe I am a little bit Rose because I forgot that I was thinking it was the best thing of the week and not necessarily what's on your mind. But the best thing of my week was that, did any of you see Formula One?
No.
Race?
No.
Yeah.
So I got asked to perform.
Oh, in Miami?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was
okay.
perform with Will I Am.
Oh.
Wasn't that like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay. It's best. Okay.
Best since the last time I was here.
Got it.
So I got to be on.
Why do I have to sit next to
are the shadiest group of people
That's why he like that comedian. That's why, because he's Formula One racing.
This is like
brown person.
untalked
So I
at all.
got to be on the track with LL Cool J and Ludacris and Will I Am and perform.
Were you drinking a Bud Light?
For the opening, and it was international TV, the only thing on ABC at 3 p.m.
No
and my
one's
family in
listening
Trinidad
anymore.
got to see.
The only
because you're
thing
talking
we
over me.
need at the table is a mirror and put a tube of lipstick in Faye's hand and we're untucked. All right. And also on our mind is the great Jets Pizza.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Obama looks so white.
Later tonight, watch Untucked. All right. Thank you, Jets Pizza. All right. Our Hotspots magazine is celebrating 38 years, and it's been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the spirit of our Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week. It's sponsored by the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters. When it comes to Broward Center, size does matter. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the destination of choice for LGBTQ plus South Florida for spectator entertainment in a large variety of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. Broward Center is the home for LGBTQ plus entertainers, shows, Broadway, national drag performance, LGBTQ plus choral events, and so much more. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities right here in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and really for all of South Florida. They support the LGBTQ plus community and are nonprofits unlike any theater in South Florida. We are excited to tell you in the upcoming shows the rich performances that the Broward Center for Performing Arts will bring to our LGBTQ community. And did you know, by the way, that surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performances 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts. And that's why they are the sponsor of Hotspot's Queer Entertainment this week. Here we go. One of the defining apps in the dating world and for LGBTQ plus community is Grindr. It was founded by Joel Simkai back in 2009. Grindr's only been here 14 years. Wow. The service has introduced millions of people around the world. Although Simkai left the company in 2018, he told plenty of diverse stories recently from people who have experimented with Grindr. While talking to Out magazine, he dished on his newly launched dating app, Motto, and shared his favorite Grindr stories too. He said, quote, "Recognition stories are always the most interesting. Stories about people meeting their husbands or partners are wonderful." End quote. Compared to Grindr, the new app Motto is geared toward a more personal approach with plenty of information needed even to set it up and create a new account. The question is, will queers shift to the new app knowing that Grindr has worked for so many queer? Our Hotspot's Queer Entertainment headline of the week: share your favorite Grindr app stories, starting with the Grindr founder, Joel Simkai. What do y'all think about Grindr? Do you have any great stories?
Well, first of all, did this guy not make enough money when he left Grindr that now he's got to start his own shit? No one's going to go over to this Model Lotto thing. No one is going to go over there. Grindr has worked forever.
You will go.
I'll put on both.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, I mean, there's Scruff. There's so many other things too. I know of a friend who was outed by his son on a family vacation because they both were on Grindr and didn't know that they each were out. And the son saw the dad 50 feet away, and he looks over and it's his dad, and he's like, what the F? And literally at the dinner that night on the he literally told the whole family, like, look who I found on Grindr, my father.
Oh.
Was
the kid out?
The kid was out, but the dad was not.
Oh my God.
I have a friend just like that, and his biggest fear is that his son is going to catch him on Grindr.
Well, he should get off Grindr. Your friend should go on Model Lotto.
So I don't think that we're gonna transition over. There's Tinder first and foremost. There's Grindr. I never even heard of Model Lotto, so it wasn't until
it's not out yet down here, is it?
I believe it's just started.
It's rolling out now.
So I think it's to answer the question, it's always going to depend on the advertising and the effort that's put in place to make it look beautiful and to see how it can take the place of the immediate gratification. And to Faye's point, I'm not really sure if it's going to take we already have well-established Tinder.
You're very active in Grindr?
I'm not very active. I get on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
I
have conversations. So I may talk. It doesn't mean I'm always going to hook up with the person.
Right. But active doesn't mean what the end conclusion is. You're frequently on Grindr.
Yeah, I get on there. Mm-hmm.
You're frequently on Grindr.
Perhaps.
Okay. And are you on Grindr frequently or not?
Frequently, yeah.
And they won't give me back my account on Grindr. Mother effers, give me my account back.
I wasn't
and
going
banner
back to
on Motto
Faye.
too.
Right. So for the three of you, in terms of being on Grindr, do you think it's desirable, Motto's, his new strategy of having more information and set it up in a little less way than Grindr is done by...
It's ridiculous.
You just made it Christian mingle. Who the hell wants that?
I do.
And Tinder is already there.
This is ridiculous. They're like, more personal, more information. Their motto, I know we saw it on one of the full screens, their motto is get on and get off. Okay, get on and get off.
Yes.
So
it's
not that different.
How big is
not
it?
that different.
I am just seeing that underneath Motto, and I had a whole idea from how he described it. Now that I see the tagline under there, I'm like, okay,
you do talk to yourself when you're
different.
You can't get to that because you do have to provide much more information to create your profile.
And you have to have a face pic.
Yeah.
which is like one of my biggest gripes on Grindr is just asking people to send face pics. And they also verify it because they look for whatever pics that you're posting plus your face pic to see if they match.
So they match your penis picture to your face.
They match your.
Is everybody's penis the same color as their face? Like
no, not your. Like
Elimination?
Yeah, if I've been running a lot, yeah.
There's been a lot happening on this show, and then McCarty. Thanks, McCarty.
I tried asking the question about motto. I'll move beyond that. So for the three of you, Faye has a great Grindr story. They won't allow her on Grindr.
Great one.
For y'all, the most shocking thing that's happened to you on Grindr? What is it? Tell me.
Come back to me. I gotta
All right.
think.
What's the most shocking thing that happened to you?
So I was in a hotel one time, and the guy was like 2 floors above me. So it said we were like 8 feet away because he was like directly above me. But so I went up to his room, and I had to wait for the guy who was already in the room having sex with him. I had to wait for him to leave. So that I could go.
double booked.
He specifically told me 8:50. I showed up at 8:45. My fault.
That was your fault.
Yeah.
That was cleanup time.
Did it matter to you that is the classic definition of sloppy seconds. That didn't matter to you?
Well, at my age, no.
No, it didn't. Okay.
I am grateful for anyone who views me as a sentient sexual being.
Okay. Well, okay, boys, around the table, okay? You guys all have used Grindr at one time or another. Have you looked at it at an airport?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Have you looked at it at a work event?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Al?
No.
Sometimes.
Well, you work with a bunch of queers, so of course, okay.
No, that's the one time if I'm in the theater world, that's the one time that I try not to, or I take the picture down because I know there's going to be a bunch of queers around me, and I'm in a position of power.
Give me an opportunity.
I know. I have a story now.
Wait. Okay, good. Weirdest Grindr story.
I just remembered.
We lost your point. So the weirdest Grindr story ever at a hotel, hooking up with housekeeping.
At the hotel.
At the hotel. But he was on duty. He was the guy
in the hotel or in your room?
Both. He was in charge of maintenance, and he happened to, on his rounds, he stopped in, he got a gift, and he left.
That's a good way to get late checkout.
Okay,
I love that.
You get perks. You got it.
Check out every time.
And Trini, your strangest Grindr story.
So now I remember when we said theater, there was a guy, I've never hooked up with anybody in a cast that I've worked with before. So this one guy saw me on Grindr. It was right after I shaved my head the first time. And I had my sunglasses on, so I couldn't tell
So you look like Gandhi.
So, no, I look like I was in the military.
That was payback for his dick.
So
I love that.
The guy in my cast that I talk to every day sends me a dick pic. And no hello, no nothing like that. So I look at it, immediately delete the profile, and I go back into the rehearsal, which I'm leading, and I didn't know if he realized it was me or not. And so I was just trying to find any kind of like physical sign. And to this day, and I see him all the time, and I never ask him like, did you know that was me who you sent a dick pic to? So that was.
Ooh, okay. And last question
that
related to.
Because he knew
it was better in my head.
Everything is better in my head.
Right.
We know.
Does conversation make any difference in Grindr?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Really?
I am not the kind of person. Elimination and I are probably very different in this one, or maybe not. That like I just cannot talk sex. I have to know how your day was. I have to know what your mama's name is. I got to know how many brothers and sisters you got.
I
mean, maybe not all of that, but like I have to feel some kind of chemistry connection
no,
before
absolutely.
I can move
Absolutely.
forward.
And that's what you said
And I've said that many times. It's all about the conversation. I'm never going to, unless I'm really at that moment where I need you're coming over the exact day. It has to be some conversation. It has to be, I need to get a feel, because I've played that game with someone who instantly I came over after a few conversations, and one of my hard no's is drug induced. You cannot, I will not play, I will not do any kind of sex, any kind of scene with someone who's drug induced. And that person came over, and the crazy thing is when you're not, and you can feel it, smell it, and taste it, and they play the game as if they've never been, well, I'm not high. You got to get out.
I have a better story now.
All right, well, tell us you did.
Do we really have to hear his better story?
It's okay. No,
yeah.
Well,
it's not that good.
So I was when I was early on coming out, I was really curious about every kind of scene, and I was just realizing what people were telling me what certain abbreviations were with T's and capitalized T's and stuff. And so somebody had, with a capitalized T, had messaged me, and told me that he was in this like really sleazy hotel. But it's one of those that have like all the colored lights and everything. And I really like colored lights. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I just want to see this hotel. So I said, well, okay, well, I don't really want to have sex, but I kind of want to come over. So he told me the address. So I went over there and he answered the door like completely naked. It was a younger kid, like early 20s. And there were some other people in there. And so I came over and I was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. And he's like completely naked and like, methed out or something like that. So he goes, sits on the bed and everybody else is around. And I'm like, can I see your bathroom? Can I see and I just like kind of, got into the heart-shaped tub, like whatever, and looked at things and then I left. So that was I didn't do anything.
So you got it right, Faye, right at the beginning.
Told you.
Maybe I was trying,
a little rose.
Maybe a little rose.
Don't walk into this.
One thing at the risk, y'all are going to read me, but try to be open-minded for a second. I'm not a Grindr. I've never been interested in Grindr. It's not interesting to me in terms of meeting interesting people for whatever. I was at Harvard, and I was in Boston for an event, a convention that I was at, and somebody that was a very close friend to me, attractive guy, complained about Grindr and how superficial it was, and it took so long and blah 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 blah. And I said, no, you're not doing it right because you're not talking in the way you should. We were in a bar at the Marriott, right on the Charles River at Harvard. And I took his phone and took his profile and played him. And we were there in the bar. We had a great night, 3 hours of just playing in Grindr. I reeled in 40 guys, 40. And the reason it was interesting to me because just please give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm able to talk digitally to be interesting. And it was shocking to people. And I remember thinking, and he was shocked at the success that he was having in Grindr because it was just taking enough time to go, wait, I'm going to be super interesting to you, and therefore you're going to love the experience. And one right after the other. How about now? How about in an hour? How about in 2 hours? Over and over and over. And it was interesting because if gay men are a little more patient and they're a little more interesting, Grindr is a fantastic tool. I have no interest in Grindr at all. But for him, that was the experience, which was, wait, gay guys are not as superficial as we think if we give them the opportunity.
Well, I would say also something really fun to do is give your Grindr to your straight guy friend and let them go on as you, and it's like the funnest night.
Oh, it's a fun night. Yeah. Oh, that's what that experience was. Okay. That was what I was saying. All right. So, all right, let's close up. And speaking of Hotspot Square Entertainment, here's a quick glimpse of the venues that are part of Broward Center.
The Broward Center for the Performing Arts, Parker Playhouse, Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, Rose and Alfred Miniachi Performing Arts Center. 4 venues that together bring a wealth of excitement to our community through the performing arts. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the center for world-class live entertainment, arts education, special events, dining, and more.
All right. Well, thank you, Broward Center for the Performing Arts. Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church right here in Fort Lauderdale. And in supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m. every week.
Shut up.
Well, next up, if we were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we might all be talking about. It's sponsored by Hot Topic. Hot Topic is an American retail chain with nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories, as well as licensed music. Hot Topic represents many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise that celebrate all aspects of the LGBTQ plus community. And Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBT organizations. Very notable is their support of the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ plus community's most important voice for LGBTQ plus young people. And that's why they are a sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. Here we go. Gay Reddit had an interesting conversation this week in defending a twink, and that's what he called himself in Reddit, who got called a cheapskate for taking his date to Olive Garden. Dun, dun, dun. Do you think you are family when you are at Olive Garden? Well, not for the Reddit user whose date criticized him for treating him to dinner at the Italian-American restaurant chain. In a post at Ask Gay Bros, one account holder who claimed to work at Olive Garden shared a story of how his low-on-money date ridiculed him for choosing a restaurant where he works and using an employee discount to pay the bill. He shares that day after the day after they left, the date texted him, calling him a cheapskate. Though the post writer wants to forget this incident, the commenters at Ask Gay Bros are not tolerating the nonsense that they thought they were reading. One commentator said, quote, "The guy sounds like a gold digger to me. He doesn't want to pay for anything, but gets upset when the person treating him saves money," end quote. Was the employee cheap, or he just tried to save some money where he could? Our hot topic of the week: do gay men hate cheap guys?
Yes, you gay boys hate cheap guys. I have heard that from quite a few boys, that they have gone out with someone and be like, oh, that guy was too cheap. I'll never go out with him again. I think it was even Elimination once that said about a date that used a Groupon or something like that, right?
I used the Groupon. Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so was that you being cheapskate, or you just trying to?
I was being smart. I was being smart. And to your point, that's exactly where I was going. Go ahead and finish. I won't be Al. Go ahead and finish.
No, please go ahead.
No, but I think that this person was right on target. Sometimes you got to be smart about how you spend, A, first and foremost, and then B, how do you utilize the best opportunity for the date? So I did use the Groupon because it was someone that had already known we had been dating. So how do I spend more money on you later and still take you out today? And so that's what I read into this whole Reddit. The guy who didn't have any money is now wanting to judge. But to Faye's point, I do agree, unfortunately, as gays, try to hold people to a certain standard that we're often not willing to follow.
Why do we
ourselves.
do that?
Because we're assholes, Al.
Well, not only that,
for yourself.
But see, there you go. But I am not, because again, I am that person that they use the Groupon. I am that person that will like ice cream. However, I will often lowball the very first outing just to see what kind of person you are, because often people will give you their best selves the honeymoon period. I'm going to show you who I am until y'all really get to know you. So it's nothing wrong with lowballing. When is it going to
get good for you and I then?
I've known you for too long.
Elimination.
It's never.
Elimination. Because I've done it myself, and then I've had someone else do it on a first date. Use a Groupon as like a way to sort of set up a date. Now it wasn't for a restaurant; it was for like rock wall climbing and an escape room. And I thought those were. I didn't think of them as cheap. I thought that's a great way to say, "Oh, hey, I've got this.
I got this Groupon.
Come do it with me.
Use it together.
Let's use it together." Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he had a good first date. He doesn't know it, but he had a good first date because he learned all he needed to know about that
This
person
guy,
to make
right?
sure that there isn't a second date.
right.
It's
Yeah.
not
Is that
his people.
you?
It was your date? It was me. It was my date. Yeah.
And Olive Garden isn't that cheap
It's
per
not.
se.
It's
Okay, he got a
not.
50% off discount. All right. Now he probably, Mr. Twink, you probably should have been more on the low when it came to that. You got a Groupon, take the waitress to the side and give it to
Right.
her, or give her your phone. Don't print it out on a big high gloss piece of paper and go, "Here's my Groupon." I mean, you know, or I'm taking you here because I get half off. You know what I mean? Like, use your words.
And I appreciate that because the funny story with the whole Groupon that I shared with you guys is someone who watched the show who I dated. He later on after we broke up, he was like, you know, I peeped how you took me on a date on a Groupon. And I was like, well, dude, it was an Indian restaurant. Neither one of us had ever been before. It was my way of introducing you to it as well as myself.
Does this? I'm curious. Do you think this attitude? You know, you say gay guys are assholes, and
I
there's
said
some.
we.
Okay.
We, because
right.
girls are assholes too.
Oh, okay. All right. So broadly.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
We were not. Trini, I will not let you. I will not.
But
Next time I fill in, do I get to sit next to Faith?
As you get older, it changes. That you care less about the amount of money that's being exchanged, or is this a young thing? Is it a Gen Z thing? Is it a millennial? Is it a?
I don't think so because
Gen X?
I've asked one of my very dear but older friends to go with me to my favorite restaurant, Long John Silver's, and I've been asking this person for years, and this older person is still like absolutely not.
Won't go to Long John Silver's.
Oh, the LJS is so good.
Hold on, pause. Do you know that every other story is a name drop with Al? Do you know that every other story is the place that he's been, somewhere he's traveled, or someone he's played with?
Okay,
so
You're getting that wrong. It's not a name drop. It is truthful experience.
All right, so I'm split on this, right? So I think we can all agree that this guy who had no money and wanted somebody else to pay was in the wrong. Just ridiculous that you would even bring that up. But I know that my mom, when I was young, she always told me, and she did this with her friends and everything. She said, if you want to take somebody out or you want to go on a date or something like that, of course she was assuming woman, that if you're the one who asks, you're the one who pays, right? And so I've always carried that with me. And I know as we got older and society's modern and she was, back in a different time, like, we generally go Dutch. But if my tendency is when I'm going out with somebody younger, which is pretty much everybody, like I feel a sense of responsibility to somebody in their 20s. I'm like, you don't have enough money to be like going Dutch with me in this restaurant or something. So I always end up paying just because I feel like it's like they shouldn't be using their money to try to.
Because you're not taking them to Long John Silver's. You're taking them to a nice restaurant.
Yeah, something like that.
He's trying to be.
I don't.
But I do believe in like kind of a little
I don't
jewelry
think
like
that there's anything wrong with it.
It's not, and I agree with you. There is nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, it's a matter of. And so, to answer your original question, I think as the older you get, the worse you are, because you feel that you a certain level of entitlement where you have came in your world, in your journey, and therefore you won't settle for less. We had a whole conversation here, one story about a bar whose rates were astronomical. And we had a big debate about what people were
Los
going
Angeles,
at. Absolutely.
Hollywood,
Because when we get to a certain age, we feel we should be entitled or get treated a certain kind of way.
You know, it's funny, and the reason I asked the question is, and again, let me head you off on the one trick pony that you are in terms of joke about me, of don't make that joke because it wouldn't be appropriate here. I have a black card. I have spent money on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in the last 20 years and have never given a second thought. The amount of money that I spend in a bar or the amount of money that I spend in the travel experience or food or whatever, it's just, it is what it is. I'm making the choice of whatever it is that I want to do. This is offensive to me because at the end of the day, I have a friend, very close friend, all of y'all know, who was a server for a restaurant, and frequently we will go to his restaurant, not the one he works at, but another one where he gets 50% off, and he wants to do that because it's a less expensive way for him to eat out.
And the food is great.
And the food is good, and I'm paying half. We're paying half on it, and I'm paying my half on my black card, and that's completely okay. I don't understand this gay mentality of going, if you don't pay and it's not the quality that I want, that I'm rejecting.
Then he's not the quality that you want. You know what I mean? You said if food isn't the quality you want, he's not the quality of person that you want.
Who cares if we're going to the Olive Garden, or we're going to the Capitol Grill. What difference does it make?
Yes, and so to your point, I want to push back a little bit because I was not going to go there. Yeah. However, because I have a black card, you may have a black card. Any of us can have it. It's whether we choose to utilize it at that given moment.
Share it.
And share it and at that moment. And so to your point, I think it's all in what your palette shows you and how you look at what life shows. In this scenario, what you're doing is you're allowing that person to be what they want to give to you in their journey, and they feel good about it, and you're still allowing them to be in that space positive. Because you could very well be that this is below me. I don't need to be around in this space, and you're not. So kudos to you, which I can't believe I'm saying it as this show. But end of the day, we all could have money. It's just how in which we choose to use. Because there's a stand, keeping up with the Joneses. You can only keep up with the Joneses if you choose.
If you got Jones money.
But guess what? You stay in Jones money because I'm not going to live your life. I'm going to live mine.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? I have a Diners Club card. They take it at Long John Silver.
That's right. And the point, it's really, yeah, they do.
They do.
Do they have Diners Club?
Ooh, that's the joke. That's the joke.
Right. And at the end of the day, the question here is this, the reason I ask you about age, for me, as I get older, I care less and less and less. I've got shoes out the yin-yang, quality, clothes out the, I don't care about that. Is that an issue that is not being addressed in Ask Gay Bros?
Well, that's a luxury you have at your age. Were you able to care, like, did you have the luxury to not care so much when you were 22, 23?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you came from a well-to-do family.
No. It was all born on my back. But that's not my point.
That's not you.
My point is, why do we obsess over this so much? Why would somebody even go to the extent of taking it a step farther to text that to say, thank you for the date. I really enjoyed you. And by the way, you're a cheapskate.
Because we're very entitled.
Entitlement. It's entitled.
We're very entitled. I mean, there's a crazy line between being super insecure and then thinking way higher about yourself than you really are.
Yeah.
I don't believe that is close to the majority of gay men. I think that's just an anomaly for me in my experience, but maybe I'm a little rose. I don't know.
Look, as a girl, okay, and being raised by people that thought I was going to be hetero my whole life, right? They were always like, hey, if the man doesn't take you to a nice restaurant and pays, you're never going to see him again.
Yeah, that's a horrible standard on both sides. For the person that's going to pay for it, it's a horrible standard, but the person that's going to expect it, it's a horrible standard. If we don't go into it equal and say, wait, I have the capability, so therefore I will, and I choose to do that, or I don't have the capability, will you, and you are choosing to participate in that, unless there's agreement. That's what this
yes, I agree with you.
I understand it for women, but not for men, because for women, they have all these extra expenses that they do to make themselves look good. They've got to do their nails, which is like $30. They got to do
$30, $70, bitch.
$70 you got to do your hair. So I think for women it's different between two men.
But it also all depends on what the guys do, what the guy does for a living. You understand? Like, I'm married to my wife, and that bitch makes 6 figures. Okay, so she's paying when we're going out. I'm paying with my little Queer News Tonight money.
But
all right, like I mean, hello, you know. So I'm sitting there. I don't even look at the check.
I'm right there.
It's also societal norms. That's where we, if I'm giving you some, or if a person feels that they're giving them their body part, meaning that's the most submissive or that they're less dominant in a relationship, then therefore they should be treated X amount of way to give you the gift of their body.
Yeah.
And so that's societal norms.
Yeah.
Again, if you're being treated X, Y, and Z, then therefore they have to pay for X, Y, and Z.
Last point, as we finish our hot topic, is this a more unique gay thing, or do straight people have the same issue?
I think straight people have it more. Yeah. I think women generally expect men. There are a lot of women who are more traditional that always expect the man to pay and the man to take care of them because that's the sex role. I don't feel like it. I don't ever. Do you all experience this in the gay community? That the guys are always expecting another guy to pay or anything like that?
Before coming down here, and without going into lots of details, every person that was around me expected it.
Really?
Every single person.
Because
Is
they
that
knew
because
you
they
had
knew
a
you were
black
rich?
card. Because
Maybe
they knew you had a black
or
card.
that
Yeah.
rich that you had money.
Yeah, on a normal day, you pretend to go for the check, but just like, the dinosaur arms, like only a little bit.
Right. Okay.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah, all right. Please summarize the entire thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Ask Gay Bros,
I'm gonna use
ask
that one.
Faye. You'll get it right. All right.
With dinosaur arms.
Next
Love it.
up is our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. It is sponsored by Andrew Christian. Our game is a playful conversation about sex. Andrew Christian is a literal representation of that playfulness and the world's most recognized sexy fashion brand for men. Iconic names like Trophy Boy, swimsuits, underwear, they're just the start of Andrew Christian. Founded by and dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community, Andrew Christian has become a status symbol for straight men wanting to adopt the style that Andrew Christian represents. The brand's support of our community is unparalleled. Pride events, major parties, and charitable fundraisers. And many of the issues that have become critical to the gay community are supported by Andrew Christian. We congratulate Andrew himself for making last year's prestigious Out 100 list. His brand presence in pop culture, entertainment, video, and so much more is why Andrew Christian is our sponsor of Shag, Marry, Chop. Now, this time, our theme is about today. Today is International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. And these are hotties that are on the front lines of that battle. So here's our Shag, Marry, Chop choices. Gina Rosero, Ryan Casada, and Zoe Zephyr. All right, Trini, let's start with you. Who are you shagging?
Shagging Ryan Casada. I think Ryan Casada, that's kind of a cute, I love tattoos and ink. I have a lot of ink myself.
Where?
Huh? All over here.
Be more specific. Where's all over?
All over here, like my torso and
on your torso.
Oh,
Don't make me check. I swear, please. That's where I draw the line.
Okay,
So I
all
love
right.
that he looks like a lot.
You're not paid enough. It's happening out. Got it. Okay.
I think he looks like a lot of fun. So yeah.
And you're
cute.
married?
I'm gonna marry Zoe Zephyr. I looked up a few of her speeches when she was doing some political advocacy.
Yeah.
And she just seems very well put together and poised, and I think that's great. And Gina, I mean, in addition to the process of elimination, that she would be the one to, that kind of vibe of like, look at me, I am a Kardashian, I'm this, I'm that.
You're getting that from the video?
You're not getting that from the video?
I'm asking you, is that what you're getting?
Of course. Like, just look at me, look at me, look at me.
You're getting
That just
Kardashian.
kind of- Or like, that kind of like attention, everything on me, everything on me. So that's a little bit of a turn off. Okay. That's me.
Okay. And John Hayden, who are you shagging?
All right, so I'm gonna shag Zoe.
Why?
Well, she looks interesting, and I can hit it and quit it with the best of them. So okay. I'm going to marry Ryan for many of the same reasons you want to hook up with him. I like the ink. He looks just so fun and full of life, and someone that I could definitely roll over and see on multiple occasions in the morning. And then I have to chop Gina. The style, her look is fabulous. But she's I don't know, the style and the face just reminds me so much of Jennifer Lopez. And I feel that would just like be betraying the relationship and the friendship that I have with J-Lo. So
you interviewed her?
Because they live next to each other. They have dinner together. Every other day they talk on the phone. We text each other.
Plays tennis with Ben. Got it.
Yeah. She asked you if she should get back with Ben, and you told her yes.
I was like,
the committee.
There's a second chance.
He was part of the committee.
I was like, girl, if A-Rod can't knock you out of the park with his bat, then just go back to what you know.
Again, A-Rod, Ben Affleck, no comparison. All right, and elimination, who are you going to shag?
I am going to shag Ryan Casada. I think Ryan seems fun. Ryan seems a little exciting. We can hit it, quit it. We can laugh at each other, and like text each other the next day, like, aha, look what we did together. Let's meet next month. Have a little good time. I will marry Gina. I think Gina can upgrade the Elimination stock. I love Gina's comfortness and Gina's skin. I love Gina's ability to be Gina. And I would love to support Gina in all of that. And I would love to be naked in all of the world and make y'all eat it together. Zoe, nothing against, Zoe, I just didn't feel the vibe in doing my research on the connectability. Zoe
don't like smart people, do you?
I joke, but I was so not going to ding you.
All right, so that's the.
I will share. Yeah, I would top Zoe.
All right. And Faye, you were the most curious for me.
Really?
At the table, yeah.
Why?
I'll explain
okay,
why
you
in a
tell me
moment.
after, all right? Okay,
Yep.
so I am going to shag Ryan Casada, all right? So he writes protest songs and I want to make him sing, basically, all right? So he is who I'm going to shag. I'm going to marry Gina. I am right up with you, Mr. Elimination, because Gina is just hot. She's done some stuff with Kamala Harris. I just want to take over the world with her.
Yes.
I just feel that we could take over the world.
And be beautiful. Yes.
And we can share clothes, bitch.
Gosh, yes,
all right?
Yes, bitch.
And I have to chop Zoe because she looks like an ex-stalker that I used to have, and so that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Nothing
She
against
identifies
her.
as a lesbian.
She is a lesbian.
Yeah.
She is a lesbian.
Yeah.
The one that looked like me?
She just proposed to her wife, to her
On the
fiance.
floor.
All right for her.
Yeah. So why were you curious about me? Was that it?
Yeah, that was it. I was curious if that would override the other two choices, which it didn't. Because
No,
you've chopped her.
because I play the game.
Yeah.
All right, you know how you often have to tell people you're not really gonna sleep with them,
Right,
Like, okay.
right.
Every single week I go, John, you're not going to interview that. Well, anyway. All right, so that is our game. And with so much shagging, marrying, and chopping, let me remind you of what we love about Andrew Christian.
Unleashed are my design concepts and aesthetics, set completely free. Unleashed is young, attainable, conceptualized high fashion that I've always wanted to create without any constraints. Unleashed is fluid. Art. Universal. Attitude. Irreverent. Living without limits. What we all desire. What we truly crave. Unleashed can be you. Unleash yourself.
Well, thank you, Andrew Christian. It's time to say goodnight. So let's hear from our host for one final time. And let's begin with our guest tonight. Yes. A good night from John Hayden.
Thank you so much for having me in tonight. This has been such a fun time. I love hanging out with most of you. And but we do. But we need to wrap it up because Faye has to pee, and then we're going to karaoke night. We're going to sing "Islands in the Stream." That is what we are. Nothing in between. How can we be wrong? So let's get it going.
Both of our eyes were like, wow.
And a good night, I'm not going to comment, and a good night from TriniDaddy.
Well, the last time I was here, or maybe it was 2 times before that, I shouted out ended the show. Gosh, sorry. With
You're
saying,
in your head again.
Yeah, saying Jerry Springer's famous tagline, "Take care of yourselves and each other," and then he died right after.
Yeah.
So I just want to shout out Jerry Springer, and the time before that, I shouted out, maybe not on this show, but in some other broadcast, I shouted out Charlie Daniels, and he died.
Okay, don't mention it.
Shout out FayWhat.
Can you?
Wow. Oh, truer words could have never been spoken.
Wow.
And Elimination, a good.
I'm coming for you, bitch. Don't touch me.
That part, I'm like trying to breathe, like, baby, your roses. We need to give you your roses now because you're done. My Kiki siblings, it's been an awesome time here at the table with
That's
you.
going to look like a great place.
Again, the white guy is always stealing the black voice. I mean, Native and black folks can never have a piece in America because the white guy is always stealing the voice. Anyway, Kiki siblings, it's been a great time. I look forward to being at the table with you each and every show. Continue to love each other. One of the great questions that we talked about earlier is how do we stand up for our siblings who need to stand up at this moment? The best way that we can is just by simply reaching out, letting them know that they're loved, that you see them. How can we support you? And just what can I do for you? If you start with that conversation, what can I do for you right now? That makes the world of difference to somebody that needs it. So I challenge all of our viewers at home, even the white guy. Can you start? Can you start here at this table?
Do you know? Yes. The answer is yes. And FayWhat, a good night from you.
FayWhat? So happy to be at this table with most of you.
Which ones?
You know which ones, right? Listen, if you missed the FayWhat show this Monday, make sure that you go on back and you watch it on demand. We had the incredible advocate, lesbian politician Janelle Perez on the show, and she was just a lot of fun. And IHO's co-host was also my boy in bed, Mr. Mark Pettit. So you definitely want to go check that out as well. And, we'll be back next week, Monday and Wednesdays. I'm on Queer News Tonight with my favorite white guy, Mr. Al Ferguson. And we're back here on It's Happening Out promptly Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Absolutely. And, well, that's it. Another week at It's Happening Out, and you sat right here at the LGBTQ plus kitchen table as we kiki on the things that are important to our community. This is a really difficult time. I don't have to tell anybody. Today, international fight against homophobia, transphobia, and our governor does a photo op of signing all of the anti-LGBT bills on this day. We reported yesterday he's going to announce running for president of the United States on the backbone of June Pride Month, right prior to the Pride Month beginning. I'm trying to put myself in a position where I am not going to let this June Pride Month escape me. It is on the verge of the potential of escaping me. And I realized, wait, if I allow that to happen, then Governor DeSantis wins in some little way. So I am going to commit, starting tomorrow, to look at all of the fun and positive things that are going on in the LGBTQ community. And I'm going to say them over and over and over again. Things are great for us. Yes. We have advocacy fights ahead. We have a fight to the presidency in November of 24. But for the next 43 days, I'm going to celebrate the existence of LGBT. And regardless of what Governor Ron DeSantis does or says, I'm going to say we're in a great place and it's only going to get better. And I I invite you to join me in that commitment. Yes. We invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our LGBTQ plus community important to you? Our mission means it. We deeply believe it is. We invite you to pick up Hotspots magazine on newsstands all over South Florida right now. The swimsuit edition is out and it is fantastic. And Queer News Tonight covers all the LGBTQ plus news of South Florida, America, and our world. It's daily and live at 8 p.m. on Roku, Apple Television, and many other television platforms. And our flagship is with you right now here tonight and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Because remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. And until next time, good night.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.